Hi guys, good morning to everyone. This is Jairaj Nadar representing InoLink. Today we will talk about one of our productivity app called InoLink, a cloud-based tool that provides an integration between Dynamics 365 CRM and a QuickBooks. All lines will be muted. In case if you have any queries or any question, you can feel free to put it in the question window. I will be happy to answer all your queries at the end of the webinar. So before I begin, let me give you a short overview about an InoLink. InoLink is one of the leading service provider and an independent ISV. We are also an exclusive Dynamics 365 CRM boutique shop that has been in the business for more than decades now. We have also been active in the CRM community in which our blogs are very popular. As you can see on the screen, these are all some of the productivity add-ons which InoLink has to offer. Like Maplytics. Maplytics is a market-leading CFMD certified product. It provides capabilities like visualizing CRM data on map, managing your territories, route optimization, smart appointment planner, and much more. Next, we have an attached to Dynamics. Attached to Dynamics will help you transform the way managing the document works on cloud storage from within Dynamics CRM. Click to export. Click to export is a one-click productivity tool that allows you to export Dynamics 365 CRM report or a Word template in just a few clicks. User adoption monitor. It is very important for an organization to understand how their users are adopting to CRM. This tool makes that happen. It gives you the perfect statistic from day-to-day actions of your user. Alerts for Dynamics, which can schedule and manage the alerts to notify your Dynamics 365 CRM user about the upcoming updates. Click to clone. Click to clone is a one-click productivity tool that allows the user to clone a records in a single click, and also it has the flexibility to choose which field and attributes that wants to be cloned. And InoLink QuickBooks. So today's session we're going to see all about this InoLink QuickBooks. So this is all about all the productivity add-ons which you can see on the screen. So in case if you require any more information of any of the productivity add-ons, you can visit our website, which is www.inogic.com. And also you can reach out to us at crm@inogic.com. We will be happy to assist you. So this is an agenda where we'll be seeing the challenges in integrating the QuickBooks with the CRM, followed by a live demonstration, and finally at the end we will be having a Q&A session. So now let's start the session with the challenges. So let's take a scenario where there is a salesperson in an organization who has access only to the CRM, and there is an accounts department in an organization, the same organization who has access only to the QuickBooks. So now whenever any sales transaction happens, the salesperson has to get in touch with the accounts department for any payment update related details or a sales transaction details. So this is obviously a time consuming task for the salesperson, as there is no accounting details which is available within the CRM, or there is no provision of syncing any data between the CRM and the QuickBooks. And also there may be a chance of duplication of data entries in either of the system, and also the tax calculation has been not provided in the CRM. So to overcome all these challenges, we have come up with a productivity app called InoLink. It provides 360-degree view of the customer by synchronizing the transaction history and aging details from a QuickBooks to the CRM. Let's see some of the key features of an InoLink. So InoLink support two-way synchronization of data from CRM to the QuickBooks and QuickBooks to CRM for the account, contact, and the product entities. And also if you want to promote an order, quote, invoice from an CRM to the QuickBooks, this can be easily achieved using an InoLink. Next, we have an accounting history. So you can able to see all your accounting history details like an credit memo, sales received, payment received, or invoice within your CRM. Next, we have an account balance. So this feature is really helpful for the sales representative of an organization, where they can able to view the open balances, YTD, sales till date sales within the CRM, so that the salesperson can able to follow up accordingly. Next, we have a tax calculation. It completely depends upon your choice whether when you enable this feature, tax calculations or tax will be calculated automatically within the CRM for the quote, order, and invoice entities. Next, we have an reporting. So along with this solution, we have shipped and dashboard for which you can see all your recent transaction history, payment updates, the open invoice, the paid invoice, along with the top potential customer within the CRM. Since it is a cloud-based solution, you do not require any separate machine or any server for a synchronization of data between two systems. And also it supports also you can integrate multiple QuickBooks for a single CRM depending upon your choice. And also you can perform a real-time synchronization of data from a CRM to the QuickBooks. So this is all about the features of an InoLink. Let's see all these features in a live action. So let me navigate to the CRM window. So these are the InoLink dashboard looks once the solution has been imported within the CRM, and here you can see the recent transaction which has been done for the customers, and here you can see the paid and the unpaid invoices which you can track it of the payment status of the invoice, and here you can see the sales comparison. You can do it from the month by month basis over here, and here you can see the top account, the potential account. You can keep a track of it, and also here you can see the open balances you can visible in this dashboard, where it really helpful for a sales representative where he can able to do the necessary follow-ups accordingly, and the recent payment which has been done by the customer. So this dashboard has been completely a customizable one where you can create your own dashboard depending upon the your requirement, as the data would be available from the QuickBooks. So now let's see how to promote an account entity record from an CRM to the QuickBooks using an InoLink. So for that, I have already synchronized one account from an CRM to the QuickBooks. So the account, so here you can see this is the name of the account, the primary contact, the email ID, the phone number, the fax number. So this data would be available in the QuickBooks since I have already synchronized this data from CRM to the QuickBooks. So let me navigate to the QuickBook and show you the data, exact details matches in the QuickBook. So if you can see, this was the account which I already promoted, which I can see in the QuickBooks in the customer details tab. If I go and check, I can see all the details like name of the customer, the billing address, the email ID, phone number. So all the details which has been matched, which I promoted from an CRM. And next we have on the accounting details tab, where you can check all the transaction history. So once the account has been linked from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so you can see the link status as linked over here. And here you can see all the sales tax details and the sales transaction history details. Like here you can see the invoices. So against this was the invoice reference number. You can drill out and check what is the summary view of that invoice. So if you can see, this was the invoice which we have been promoted, and you can see this invoice reference number in the QuickBooks as well, and the amount it can be matched from the QuickBooks. So here you can see the amount is as $1.85 against this invoice number. So you can match this in the QuickBooks in the transaction list. If I go and check, so here you can see the invoice number as 1027 and the amount you can see as $1.85. So this was as I already promoted this account from an CRM to the QuickBooks. Now let's see the real-time synchronization of another account from an CRM to the QuickBooks. So in that case, I have already created one account by entering all the information. Here I have like account name, phone number, the fax, and here I have a primary contact, the email ID, and the business phone number I have created for this account Atos solution. So if you could see, this account would not be available as of now in the QuickBooks since I have not promoted this account from an CRM. So let's go and check in the QuickBooks whether this account is there or not. So let me navigate to the QuickBook window and let me search for that account name. So if I search for that particular account, so I cannot able to get that account because we have not promoted this from the CRM. So let's navigate to the CRM and promote this account. So in order to promote an account from a CRM to the QuickBooks, so you need to simply click on the promote button on the top. So once you click on the promote button, a real-time synchronization could occur, where within a couple of minutes the synchronization will be done and you can see this data could be available in the QuickBooks. So now whenever any data has been promoted from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so where you want to know the status of that particular record. So in that case, you can simply click on the related tab over here, and you can go on to the link job. So in the link job here, you can see the status. So here you can see the link job for an account. Since we are promoting an account entity record from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so here you can see the link job for an account over here. And here we have a link status over here. So there are three types of link status, where once the synchronization is in process, so the link status could be in the queued. Once the synchronization has been done successfully, so here the link status would be changed to an success over here. And while synchronization, if you're getting any issues in synchronization, then you can get the status as an error over here. So you can simply click on that error and check what was the error is all about, and you can do the needful accordingly. So here we have a source over here. So since we are promoting this account from an CRM to the QuickBooks, the source could be from the CRM. So now let's refresh this and check whether the data has been synchronized or not. So let's refresh this. And here you could see the link, it has been successful. It means that the synchronization has been done successfully. So now let's move on to the QuickBook and check whether this account has been promoted and we can see it in the QuickBook or not. So let me navigate to the QuickBook window. Let me refresh this browser. So let me search for that account. So I will type it like it was. So if you can see, the account has been auto-populated. This was the account which we have promoted from the CRM. So here you can see this was the account, ATOS solution. And if I go and check in the customer details tab, so here I can see all the details like name of the customer, the billing address, the email, the phone number, and the fax number, which are already which we have created in the CRM and promoted from there. So here you can see this was the details which we have promoted from the CRM, so we can able to get that details in the QuickBooks. So this is how, if you want to promote an account record like customer details from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so this can be easily achieved using an InoLink. And similarly, if you want to promote a product entity record from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so this can also be easily achieved by simply clicking on the promote button as shown for an account entity record. So once you click on the promote button, your product could be synchronized and you can see that product in the QuickBooks. Now let's see how to promote an invoice from an CRM to the QuickBooks. So for that, I have already created one invoice along with the invoice product over here. So this is an existing product which I've created, and these are writing products. So once I promote an invoice from an CRM, and invoice could be created in the QuickBooks. So let's promote this invoice and check the real-time synchronization of data from CRM to the QuickBooks. So let me click on the promote button. So once I click on the promote button, as I said earlier, the synchronization could be in process. So within a couple of minutes, the data would be synchronized and you can see this invoice could be created in the QuickBooks. So here you can see, so yeah, I have entered all the details amount and they provided a discount over here. And also here you can see the tax has been calculated by this within the CRM. And if I go and check in the QuickBooks against this particular account, like there won't be any no more invoice would be created against this ATOS solution. So if you can see, there has been no new invoices has been created against this account. So let's go and check in this the related tab the status of this particular invoice which we have promoted from an CRM. So here you can see the status has been now success. It means that it has been processed and the synchronization has been successful. Now we can able to see the invoices in the QuickBooks. So let's navigate to the QuickBook window and check whether we have received an invoice. So let's refresh this browser. So here you can see invoice has been created in the QuickBooks. We have promoted and data from the CRM and invoice has been created in the QuickBooks. Let me open that invoice. So here you can see the invoice has been created where all the details you can see it over here. And here you can see the product. So this was then product which are existing product along with the line discount. You can see it over here. This was the line discount which I given for this product. and this is the writing product and the line discount for this product. Here you can see it over here, and here you can see the total discount for this product and the tax percentage, and the total balance dues for this invoice is like $1195.55. So this is the amount which is against for this invoice 1046. So now the amount we have been received. So now we have invoice has been created in the QuickBooks. So now from an accounts department, so we have promoted an invoice from the CRM, and now it's an account from an accounts department. Whenever a payment has been received for this particular account, like for the Atal solution, we have received a payment. So from the QuickBooks side, the account department will update the payment. So they will. So for that, simply click on the receive payment and update the payment status in the QuickBooks. So here you can see, and the reference number, I will type it over here. Click on save and close. So once I click on save it, so here we have updated the payment status in the QuickBooks. So to synchronize in sales transaction details from an QuickBooks to the CRM, service has to be scheduled. So depending upon the poll interval time which we have set, the data could be synchronized accordingly from the QuickBooks to the CRM. So in order to perform all this, we need to do an InoLink settings. So let's see how to set up an InoLink settings in the CRM. Let me navigate to the CRM window. So here we have in settings. So here we have an page, InoLink setting page. So in this InoLink setting page, once your solution has been imported, at the initial point you can able to see only this Dynamics 365 CRM and the QuickBooks. So you need to set up and establish a connection between the CRM and the QuickBooks. So for that, you need to click on first on the Dynamics 365 CRM and click on the continue and the configure. It will ask you to enter the credentials of the CRM, where you need to enter it and click on continue and configure. And then you need to click on the QuickBooks, where you need to enter the details of the QuickBooks here. Sorry for the disturbance. And you need to enter the QuickBooks details over here. So you need to enter the client ID and the client secret key. So to obtain a client ID and client secret key, we have a help file button over here. So here we have a blog which will guide you through in order to set up all the QuickBooks. So you can enter those details accordingly over here. And if you want to integrate multiple companies of QuickBooks, so you can simply click on the add button over here. So you can click on add button over here. So it will allow you to create a multiple companies over here accordingly. So these are once you click on once you entered all your details, click on authorize and save. So within a few more minutes, a connection could be established between a Dynamics 365 CRM and the QuickBooks. So once the connection has been established, so here you can see all the feature. You can see it would be listed out over here. So here we have a two section to integrate the data from CRM to the QuickBooks. So we have all these features, and to synchronize data from in QuickBooks to the CRM, we have to enable all this feature. Let's see this feature one by one. So now let's start with to integrate data from CRM to the QuickBooks. So like if you want to integrate a customer details from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so for that you need to simply click on the customer tab feature over here, and here you need to enable this toggle button, which will be turned into a green. So this indicates that the feature has been enabled, and here you need to set the data accordingly over here, like the name mention criteria. So here we have two options over here. So when you set it as an exact, so it will search for an exact customer name in the QuickBooks, and it will update the data accordingly. And if you set as a pattern, so if you are doing any typo errors within the two systems, so it will update the existing record without creating the new records in the QuickBooks. And once you set it as an allow primary contact to the sync, so the contacts will be synchronized from CRM to the QuickBooks. So, and if you set it as a do not allow, the contacts would not be synchronized in the QuickBooks. So once you have entered all these details, you can simply click on the save. So this will enable the customer feature, and you can synchronize their customer details from CRM to the QuickBooks. And similarly, if you want to synchronize the product entity record from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so you need to simply click on the product, and here it is as similar. You need to enable this feature, and the same as I explained for an customer. So all the details you need to enter it here. Simply click on the save, which will synchronize the product record from an CRM to the QuickBooks. And if you want to promote a quote record from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so for that you need to simply click on the quote over here, and you need to enable this feature. And here we have an auto create missing customer field, where if you set it as an S, so like if there is a customer, there is a new customer in the CRM, and this customer is not available in the QuickBooks, so it will search and it will create an new customer, and then it will create for an quote entity against that particular record. So similarly, it is as similar for an order to synchronize and data from an CRM to the QuickBooks, and also for an invoice. And next we have an transaction setting. And the transaction setting is where, like as you all know, QuickBooks does not allow write-in line without existing product. So for that we need to create a 3 types of a service product, which is write-in, line discount, and a shipping product. So you need to map this product accordingly over here. And next we have an enable tax calculation. So if you set it as an S, the tax calculation would be performed within the CRM, and if you set it as a no, then there won't be no tax calculation performed within the CRM. And once you set all this option, you can click on the save, so the transaction could be performed accordingly. So these all features which is you need to synchronize, enable this feature, and this all feature is in configurable. You can enable or disable the features which you want to synchronize the data from CRM to the QuickBooks. Now let's see to synchronize the data from QuickBooks to the CRM. So the customer feature is as same I explained for to integrating data from CRM to the QuickBooks. So you need to enable this feature, and we have an additional field called as an last modified date. So you need to specify the date. So depending upon the date, it will synchronize the data from QuickBooks to the CRM. Similarly, it is as similar for the product entity. So as I explained in this, to integrate data from CRM to the QuickBooks, you need to simply click on the product, and you need to enable this feature. And the transaction history. So here if you want what all the transaction histories you want to synchronize from QuickBooks to the CRM. So for that you need to enable whether you want to enable the credit memo to synchronize the credit memo, received payment, sales received. So depending upon your choice, you can enable all this. So accordingly, the data could be synchronized. And here you can set the data, the last modified from. So you can specify the date over here. So accordingly, the data could be synchronized from QuickBooks to the CRM. So this is all the features of an data could synchronize from QuickBooks to the CRM and CRM to the QuickBooks. So in order to synchronize data from an QuickBooks to the CRM, here we need to have a schedule service has to be enabled. So here we have a service scheduling. This is the heart of the InoLink. You need to enable this services, and you can specify the date and time. And depending upon the poll interval, the data could be synchronized from QuickBooks to the CRM. And if you want to integrate a multiple bulk record of data from a CRM to the QuickBooks, so for that you need to enable these services, and you can specify when this synchronization should be happen. So you can specify the date and time over here accordingly, so that depending upon the service enabled services, the synchronized could be happened accordingly. And next we have a link existing customer. Like there is the customer could be available in both the CRM and the QuickBooks, and if you want to link both the existing customer, so here we have an options of a smart match, which will allow you to match that existing customer. So you can simply click on the smart match option, so it will allow to match the existing customer from CRM as well as to the QuickBooks. So it is as similar, the link existing customer for linking the existing product. So where the products would be from QuickBooks and CRM could be linked accordingly. So this is how you need to set up an InoLink configure page to synchronize data either from an CRM to the QuickBooks or QuickBooks to the CRM. Now let's see whether the transaction has been synchronized from QuickBooks to the CRM for which the payment which we have done in the QuickBooks. So let's go and check in that account. So this was the account for which we have done the payment in the QuickBooks. Let's refresh this browser. So I've refreshed the browser. Let's go and check in the accounting details. So here I can see the link status has been linked now. And now here you can see all the sales aging details, the open balance, the YTD sales, the till date sales over here. And here you can see the transaction history. So since we have done the payment against this invoice 1046, so you can, the sales representative can able to drill out and check the invoice, the summary of an invoice, what was the invoice, and you can also able to see, check the sales transactions, where you can able to see the overview about what was the reference number, the customer, the billing to address, and like all the details from here. And next we have an sales transaction details, where you can able to see all the line items, the InoLinks, what was the line item which we have been provided over there, so that you can see it over the here. And here we have a sales transaction summary, so where you can able to check all the sales, that is discount amount, shipping charges, total amount. And next we have the applied transactions, so where you can check the payment which has been received over here. So since this account, this invoice has been promoted from an CRM to the QuickBooks, so you can able to check. We can now let's check the status of this invoice from the out of the box functionality, whether the status has been paid or it is in still in the active state. So let's go and check in the invoice from the out of. So here you can see the status has been now changed to the paid from the out of the box entity. Since this invoices we have been already promoted from an CRM to the QuickBooks, and we have done a payment in the QuickBooks, and in the CRM, in the out of the box entity of this invoice, you can see the status has been changed to unpaid, and here you can see the status has been paid and the status it has been complete. So this is really helpful for an sales representative, where you cannot able to get in touch with an accounts department for any updates related to the payment. So you can simply go into the CRM and you can check this data accordingly, and you can do the necessary follow-ups. So this is all about an InoLink. Now shortly you will receive a poll regarding the features which you like most in InoLink. So here's the poll. I request you to kindly cast your vote, the features which you like most in InoLink. More 10 seconds to cast your vote. Thanks for casting your vote. Let me navigate to the presentation part. So InoLink supported version will be a Microsoft Dynamics 2016 and above version, which can be deployed on partner hosted and online. And on the QuickBooks side, we supported in the QuickBooks Online, and the countries we support are USA, Canada, UK, and Australia. To get started with an InoLink is really simple. You can download this solution from my Microsoft App Stores and also from our website, which is www.inogic.com. So during your trial evaluation or during your setups, in case if you need any queries, if you have any queries or need any assistance, you can reach out to us at crm@inoject.com. We will be happy to assist you. Thank you for attending the webinar. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.